Y'all, good to see y'all again. Today I wanted to dive into the recent thread I made about the NFT gaming rotation, and man, does it feel good since we're seeing all of our NFT floor prices pump like 5 to 10 X's. I remember there was like Moonray, there was GLHF, there was Chronoforge, there was a bunch of others that people listed. I remember there was something about Ember and some other ones, so it's going fast. So for this, I wanted to expand upon the Twitter thread I made, since that one was more of like a condensed version where we had more of the intro of what's been happening, the thesis, more like short pointers of which specific NFTs, but I wanted to give more background on them and maybe some other pointers later on. Of course, this is all not financial advice. It's literally just JPEGs. We have no idea what we're doing. We're just speculating. It's all gambling, but let's get to it. So let me go through this. Yep, 6 months ago I shared the thesis, and now gaming NFTs were extremely undervalued. Now they're pumping 5 to 10x, and yeah, I feel like a lot of the NFT communities, they're very they tend to be more long-term oriented, or at least like the best ones, where they like to build stuff. They don't want to trade endless meme coins. They don't want to excessive leverage trade, stuff like that. So I think when you have a bunch of people with that similar mindsets, they tend to either work in Web3, maybe they want to work on their own businesses in Web2 or Web3, or maybe like a hybrid of each. Maybe they want to innovate the space, they want to refine their skills, etc. So yeah, congrats to y'all for sticking through it. And because they do that, because they swing trade NFTs, it's usually on like a monthly time frame, or at least the past half year or 2 years, people have been accumulating more, not like actively trading. So with the extra time and energy, you're able to spend it on doing other stuff, as other things mentioned before. And then for the main benefits of the Genesis NFTs, first one's individual, well, this is for usually how it goes. First one's the individual allocation, the project's tokens more passively. So if you just hold it to TG, they probably allow you to claim the tokens on their website, or they just airdrop it to you. Number 2, bonus token allocations for their player airdrops or social questing actively. So for example, with King of Destiny, they just had 2 player airdrop seasons, or if you actively played and you invested, you get more of their God token. So there will be more of that, plenty more of that coming. Then for number 3, additional token benefits from their partners. So for example, Valve Foundation, they partner with like over 100 people to give them airdrops or allocations for Thunder, which will convert to God later for the top people. Same for Dream Runner or Not to Ether, and same for Planet Atmos. So definitely get to those. This is a huge sleeper pay. A lot of these partners, because there's so much of these social questing platforms, people are getting lazier where they don't want to enter in, but usually the first or second season, there tends to be a bigger airdrop allocation. So all you gotta do is literally sign up 5 minutes, get it on those, do nothing, and literally get like 500 to whatever. If you have a bunch of other partner NFTs that you're already holding, then you'll get like an even bigger allocation at TG. So this is a huge sleeper play to consider. Number 4, another sleeper play, incoming airdrops from their infrastructure partners, such as marketplaces. There was the Magic Eden airdrop before, then there's a Tensor one coming up again, then there's OpenSea, maybe Phantom, maybe MetaMask if Linea does a little something like that. Blockchains, whether that be from a grant they receive, maybe a VC kickstarts a blockchain and then they invite that game, and then whoever plays that game gets their airdrop, or maybe it could be grant like a Arbitrum or Avalanche or something, a bigger one. AI agents, a sleeper one too. Eventually most of these games, they will create AI agents to interact with people on Twitter, etc., and then a lot of the holders will probably benefit. They'll probably airdrop to the holders first, such as how Today did it, and then other protocols too. So 2 sleeper plays right there, number 3 and 4. Number 5, other tangibles. This is intangibles. These are the ones that are not talked about. So as the bull cycle goes on, it's going to get harder and harder to get whitelist, pre-sales, private deals, and it's going to be more and more demand, and so projects will probably start giving less, right? So by holding all of these Genesis NFTs, you get the highest priority in getting these exclusive whitelists in pre-sale. So really underrated. Then when it's like a peak euphoria, a lot of these pre-sales like instantly like 5, 10, 20, 100x even, if it's hyped up enough. You already saw how like on-chain heroes, I believe that was like a 10x off the rip, super crazy, and this is just early the bull market. So imagine like March, April, when things get super euphoric, or maybe if the market keeps going on, like October, November, when things are peak euphoria, it's gonna be crazy. So extra market exposure too. So if you have an ambassador program, or maybe you post something and then their project's more willing to repost it, connections with high quality community members, this is another hidden alpha too. So it's a lot easier to connect with other people within these group chats. So a lot of relationships I started with just like chatting, sending memes and stuff, and they've led to longer term partnerships, so I wouldn't sleep on that too. So here are the specific projects. Infinity Gods, well, I think they're like one of the most obvious cooks. I think they're probably the #1 mobile gaming ecosystem right now in Web3, and I believe they're gonna really dive deep into AI. So they're just super smart. They're very hardworking, and I think they're gonna cook super hard. So if there's a medium market correction in the next 2 to 5 weeks, maybe it's around 8.5 or 9 weeks of uptrend so far. It's loud as fuck with the medium back, but yeah, I would highly consider looking into maybe getting a combination of Infinity Passes. So how it works is that you need at least 7,777 God token in order to max stake your vault token to emit the maximum possible. And then let's say you also need an Infinity Pass or to get the 6th level, or the Ultimate Pass to get the 7th level. So, but I probably go for more Infinity Pass. I think that's more doable for most people. But if you want to actively play the game, Elder Gods would be better. But I'm assuming for the majority of people, they probably want the Vault 777 God, then Infinity Pass to stake that up. So that's the most optimal play, in my opinion. Planet Atmos Genesis X, so ultra undervalued. Their team executes super well, and I think once people really find out well about them, I've seen other similar projects go from 0.02 ETH to like 0.2 ETH in like 2-3 days. I wouldn't be surprised at all if that happens to them. But yeah, I think their GG's coming up in February, March, sometime over there, or later, sometime later Q1. So they're going to be a huge sleeper, and they're going to vastly benefit from the NFT gaming rotation. So yeah, they're going to cook really hard. Then Knights Ether, Dream Runner, same thing. They have a very powerful narrative of them being super active in Treasure DAO. So I think Treasure DAO is another community I'm super bullish in long term, whether that be the Small Brains, the Beacon, Wanderers, and all other awesome individuals from Treasure DAO. They're really cool. So these are the plays right here. They have their Dream Lair Land NFT mint coming up. But if you want to stack something, I think the closest thing to Genesis NFT for them would be the Knights, so it probably would stack those more, and some Villagers too. They're very undervalued. So, oh yeah, another alpha is that a lot of these plays, if you stack them up, they tie in really well to other ones. So I mentioned before, like the Hal Foundation, Infinity Gods, God Airdrop, with the Planet Atmos, and that's either they have their thing going on. So would keep that in mind so that you can collect those points, and then they'll transfer over to that. So it's gonna be really awesome. Then Cyberdins, super dope. Shout out to Mike, Himars, and the rest of the team, Digistack, and everyone. Really dope. This is a big 404 play. So how a 404 works is that it's, for example, they have a cyber token. If you buy 10k of those tokens, it becomes an NFT. So this is super dope that people can kind of re-roll what they want. Maybe they don't like a specific artwork, so they can buy another 10k, switch that, they get another artwork. So then I think this is a bit harder to explain to people. They won't really get it. However, once they do see more and more of these, they're going to really like it. So I think Cyberdins is that, along with gaming on base. Since Cyberdins is on base, I think people are really sleeping on base gaming and base in general. So for more context, base is the blockchain of Coinbase, and Coinbase is the #1 mainstreamy like crypto app purchasing for like USA, stuff like that. Binance is more like for Asia and stuff. So yeah, Coinbase is going to have a lot of influence in the cycle. They're probably going to be the top exchanges along with their VC branch and stuff. So would keep in mind for that. Smitty DAO, more like a Treasure DAO play too. Really awesome team. Really like them. They have an MMORPG coming up, so let's stay tuned for that. And yeah, they're going to vastly benefit from that Treasure DAO rotation. And Smitty DAO is their closest thing to a Genesis NFT. LHU game, I think it's unclear whether it's a Genesis NFT or not, but they also have another collection. The Loyalty Pass is more of like their first one introduced, then their second one's for the NFT heroes, so I'll probably accumulate the rarest heroes for the cheapest, and then maybe some Loyalty Passes so that you get continuous perks on there, since I think they'll continue to do that. Or maybe if they do another NFT collection that turns out to be the real Genesis NFT, maybe you could like trade in your Loyalty Pass or something, but that's just speculation, who knows. I'm just trying to accumulate some Loyalty Passes for now for whatever they do cook up. 7, Socials Rising Genesis Fake Friend. Yep, that's our communities collection. So I run like an agency for both like a business development, marketing, community building, stuff like that. And we also have our own community branch. So with that, you get a bunch of perks and everything. I think we've given over 500k worth of giveaways for our last update, October. So I believe it's around 700k-ish. We're going to track everything in the next 1 to 2 weeks once things slow down. So hopefully we crack 700, 800k. So up to you guys. But yeah, we also have, well, Alpha, for instance, you're watching, we have 2 tokens coming up. One is like a parody of a meme that's going to come up around GDC. Another will be our actual, like for our AI software. So that'll probably be October, November-ish. And then we might cook a little something up AI agents. We'll see which ones are popular. So if we release tokens for those, we'll send it to our Fake Friends members first, and yeah, stuff like that. But I'll save the other alpha for longer term. Zone Pass, Zone 9. Yep, that's a cook from Ancient 8, their blockchain, Don't Fade, Vietnam, and crypto. So I think that's my main exposure to them, along with Harry Bean, the actual 8 token, etc. Realmverse, same Treasure DAO. Secondary effect play, Smoke. So Smoke kind of reminds me of GLHF, where they have a very valuable tool that people use, and once people realize that Smoke's going to become more and more, so what Smoke is doing, which they've worked with like 7 gaming projects I believe already, where they automate UGC programs for games. So, you know, like instead of individually mass checking or going through and setting up one-by-one creator deals, this one just does mass UGC so that a bunch of creators can do it, and games save a lot of time, teams save a lot of time, agencies save a lot of time. I refer to them a lot for our partners and stuff, so they're going to be a sleeper. So GLHF ran up like 10x or something, so that I could see Smoke doing the same thing. They have only like a 700 supply, so I can see that running up real fast. So wouldn't fade them. Cronus World, I really like their team, really cool work. Shouts to Alonzo, and yeah, I think they're just cheaper, so I could see them running up a bit. Same Wolf Dog game, OG game. Shouts to them, Infinity Gods, and like all those spots. They're really cool. Particle Inc, more like an AI AR game or exposure, so I think they're gonna benefit from like an Animalca, Brands Rotation, Ape Chain. Chronicles, awesome community. I highly recommend following them, joining their Discord if possible, maybe even pick up a pass. I think Raiden, GCrod.crew, they're gonna cook real hard this cycle. So I think, yeah, here's an alpha. I think that's gonna be a very undervalued play right now. A lot of these creators, they're gonna build communities. Maybe they could be smaller-ish size right now, but in the bull market, it's gonna exponentially grow like crazy. So if they remain to be public, so I'd get in early, get well connected with them, and pick up a pass before it starts getting really expensive, as they'll randomly drop huge perks. So a lot of these games are going to do more and more airdrops to these communities in order to acquire these users, right? Since if there's a community that has a history of active players that spend a lot, the games will pay them to get onboarded. So I think Chronicles and some other ones mentioned, like Social Rising, Eve Lizards, Wolves DAO, Web3 Gaming Frontier, a bunch of others, they will benefit from that, so I'll probably get in that. Bullyverse, Instant Bullyverse Island. So for this one, I think the main play would be to get a COBI and then stake that on their Bullyverse websites, and then I think the main play I'm mostly bullish on would be their incoming AIX gaming network called Beyond Network. So the Bullyverse team is really smart, Medable and the others, they're very smart with building infrastructure. So I think they have other games too. I think that could cook as a secondary effect for the FT game rotation. But I think their real big cook would be the Beyond Network for the AIX gaming network. That's where they really excel. So yeah, any exposure to that as possible, I try to get that as possible. Like you can stake Bull to cash to get a B token, that's their token, their B airdrop, or stake COPI to get to level 20. Then today the game, huge AIX gaming play right there, very undervalued at 0.046 in my opinion. Then Game ICC, as mentioned before, kind of similar to Chronicles, community play right there. Champions IO kind of reminds me of Today Game 2 with an undervalued Gaming X AI play, and they're really innovative with the way they do collabs, just such as with their Key Foundation one, and then they recently did one with Reach with the overworld ecosystem. So I think they're going to vastly benefit. They're a huge sleeper. I think they're going to be one of my higher conviction plays. But after this, I'll probably go back and list the high conviction plays. Actually, let me scroll up and look at it. 50 Gods, yeah, high conviction. Same for 2, same for 3. 4 already got big bag. Probably stack up a bit of this, Social Rising for sure, since I'm building that. That'll be my number 1 for sure, which I'm investing the most time and energy in. Then, let me see, Smoke for sure. Then, let's see, yeah, got a decent bag of this. Got this, yep, staking for B, yep, for sure. Got already some, yeah, this too. Alright. Then, for Uprising, they come from another L1 that is Japan focused. I'm a little bit sleepy right now, so I'm totally forgetting about they're in L2. Let me double check this. Yeah, they're in L2, but there's another Japanese token, so there's going to be very undervalued plays if we're talking global nationality wise. So Uprising will be one of them. So whenever they do their TG, it's probably going to cook hard for the Genesis holders. They're probably going to get airdrop stuff, so I'd stay tuned for that. Same for Ancient 8, they're Vietnam and the other ones. Then Project O, Coin Games, I think they're going to be one of the new trend-setting trading card games of this cycle, related to what Apex and their squad is cooking up. Would not fade them. L37, I think they're going to be another Asian gaming exposure. I remember K and the Brigand Squad, they're cooking up hard with them, so I watch out for them, along with the other ones like Blade of God, Multiverse, what's the other one? I forgot, it's a shooting game, Counterfire, I believe. Then Beacon, yep, one of the main plays of Treasure DAO, so would not fade that. They're going to cook really hard, so if it stays around 0.12, probably swoop up more. I'll probably swoop up more. Then Blade of God 2, they have a smaller supply, I believe, and 0.1, with them not teaching yet, I believe that's a steal, in my opinion. So I'll probably keep swooping up more for that too. Zverse, yep, Mask, they recently upgraded their token airdrop to 5% for Mask and then 8% for land, so it's going to cook really hard. So I'm going to, look to scoop up more Mask and maybe land whenever, if there's an incoming market correction, probably swoop up a bunch. So one of the more high conviction Treasure DAO plays here too. Same for Small Brains, with the recent pumps in the bigger PFPs, such as Azuki, Doodles, what was that, Pudgy Penguins, totally forgot the main one, stuff like that. I think they're going to vastly benefit as other people look to accumulate the blue chips of other blockchains. So looking at that, and they also didn't do their TG yet. Then Go Gaming too, yep, solid Gaming X AI play, like Champions Ascension, really cool. GLHFers, they already pumped, but yeah, they're just a very solid tool. They set the trend of the programmatic whitelisting, where, for context of that, before when people select for whitelist, it'd probably be like a collab manager would walk up to the community that seems cool, and they're like, oh, or the community would reach out to them, then they'll give them a 10 to 30 whitelists, not really checking it. But what that led to was that a lot of these whitelists would either be more poor quality users, where they barely minted, maybe they flipped it right away, so it ran into a lot of problems, right? So programmatic whitelisting, it tracks the amount of Discord activity you have in high quality servers, and also which entities you hold. So the entities they track tend to be the ones that are more diamond handers, and because I think specific entities attract different specific people, right? So then the project itself could request anything else. So for example, maybe there's like a smaller collection or community that GLHF doesn't know about, but they're really good because there's like so many different communities out there, right? So then they request them to add them in for even more allocation of more points if they're in that community. So really cool customizable way to curate more community members you want in your community, in your incoming community. Fableborn, really cool. They kind of remind me of Infinity Gods, where they've been executing for so long and they built a lot of trust in their community just because they're very out there and they're very active. Like shouts to Cav and the NFT NT Cav, I believe, and Maria and Cam, all those other people. They're really dope. So it's really dope to see their FP really high now. So ROIs probably not the best, but I probably look, if there's a big market correction coming, I probably swoop up one of these, two of these. Liz Labs, same situation as Infinity Gods and Fableborn. They've been executing for a long time. They're already TGE'd, but I believe they have 2 more big airdrops incoming for your Venture Lizard holders, and yeah, I think they're gonna cook. So if there's ever a big dip, probably get into that. Same for Seedboard. Yep, I think there's just a lot. I really like Seed Alchemist, I believe, and their team, really cool. They just execute well, and I think one of the biggest ones would, besides S-Board, to getting on dips, would be their AI incubator program. So for them, before they were more of like a launchpad, they still are launchpad for token stuff. So I think their seed token world, seedify token will cook, but then their AI and meme incubator program is really cool. So there can be a lot of these incoming projects that will innovate and really push forward the space. So there's bound to be at least a few of them coming out of the seedify program. So I'd watch out for that. That'll be the main one. For Falcon Games, yep, solid. They've been building trust for a while from executing, but I'm not personally involved with them as much, but I had to put on them under because they're solid. My Pat Hooligan, same thing. They have a really diehard community. Shout out to them. I remember the first 2 times I created lists like this, they kept on hounding me to put on it. I was like, okay, that's a sign that they're a very strong community, so I got to put on them. Shout out to Bido and their team for setting up some game nights with our community, inviting us to a tournament, so really dope. 33, one of my highest conviction plays here. I'm looking to heavily scoop this if there's ever a big dip incoming. So yeah, Wildcard's just been executing for a long time. They're really awesome at connecting with people. I've seen them chat with people for the past like GDC took 24/9 already, the previous GDC, so they're just super dope. And I would join Thousands TV, their Discord, if you have a NFTs such as like I don't know, Wolves Eye, Evil Lizards, Paladins, Socials Rising, Fake Friend, etc. Verify, get your Discord role. They don't have a token yet, so it could be something. Then, or actually, I'm gonna explain it more since I know some people might be newer here. So, some ways people might airdrop their tokens is that if you join a Discord role and you have an NFT from their community, like for example, if you have a Fake Friend NFT from Socials Rising, you verify it with like the Vulcan bot or something in their Discord, you got a special role of that, and then it's not a guarantee that Wildcard would do, but other projects they airdrop to those people, so maybe they give them a form so that they input their wallet address or something, and then they airdrop tokens to those Discord holders. So no guarantee Wildcard would do it, but that's a mechanism if you're newer to the crypto space to consider. Then 34, yeah, OG AX gaming play, had to put them on. They have an incoming token Q1, so it could cook, but I'm not sure so ROI since they're so huge, so it'll probably still be like good, at least okay ROIs. But so overall, I think this is going to have one of the most hated rallies, and I think they raised over about 80 to 100 million already. So then they have like 3 different projects, I believe, Age of Dino, something AI, Overworld, I believe those are their main ones. It's Paleo AI. So they're going to input their ecosystem token, which is exterior to all of those projects. So I think they're going to cook really hard. So yeah, I think if there's any big dips, probably would accumulate that. Then Pirate Nation, yeah, I think that's the same thing for this. I forgot to put Digidaigaku. I think Overworld and Digidaigaku are pretty similar. They raise a lot of funds, and I think they're going to cook. They're going to innovate this space, and they're going to provide a lot of really useful applications that it's going to be so good that people can't help using it. Sometimes they have problems with communication, but I think their product will just be too good that people use. Power Nation took a little bit of a dip after their last token airdrop, so could be solid, one of the most hardcore, diehard communities I've seen. I'll probably look to snag 1 to 5 extra liquidity. I think for this ecosystem, it benefits if you're a more active player and user in their ecosystem. So that could be a larger barrier to entry if you don't have the time and energy to do that, and their ecosystem is more established. But if you want to be an already established ecosystem, then that could be good for you. 37, Azuki, I had to put it since they're gonna probably do their, I believe it was anime token, so Azuki probably will airdrop to them. So probably could cook, array punts a decent amount, but we'll see how it goes. Then another thing would be to consider plays before they happen. So blockchains that are newer, trendy, that people like will probably be abstract, base, linear, monad, bear chain, sway, mantle, manta, say arbitrum, treasure, Zai, zk sync, starknet, beam, near, aptos, ronin, blast, bitcoin, solana, avalanche, opnb, etc. So if you're newer, I probably would stick to maybe solana, avalanche, bitcoin's too crazy, abstract, base, arbitrum, maybe treasure. No, actually no, forget those. I think those are more degens. So Solana, Avalanche, Abstract, Base. Fuck the rest of these. I didn't do the rest of them are too degen. Maybe eventually more if you want to learn more about crypto, but I know a lot of y'all talking to. I think for those 4, or if you don't have enough time, or it's your first time hearing these, focus on those 4. Then would also consider accumulating a stablecoin bag for any potential medium market correction dips in 2 to 5 weeks. Yeah, it's been like 8.5, 9 weeks of uptrend already. There tends to be market correction every 10 to 12 weeks, maybe a little bit longer since it is the very first medium up time frame trend of the bull cycle. So maybe it could extend 14, 15 weeks, who knows, towards an inauguration. But as time goes on, as it uptrends, there's a higher and higher chance they'll probably do medium correction. So that combined with another hidden play, which would be a lot of tokens that do their TG. So when they launch their token on that date, they have a limited time higher APR staking multiplier. So what does this mean? So for example, if you have $100 in token, you stake it for 25% APY for a year. You wait a year, you get 25% more token. You have $125 worth of tokens from that original price, right? So a lot of these tokens, they do their TG, and then they want people to stake that supply so that there's less tokens in the supply. So when there's less token supply, that means that there's less supply, and if there's higher demand, people want to buy the token, so the token will have an easier time going up because there's less supply. So let me know in the comments if you need any questions for that. So because of that, they're going to have a higher staking APR rewards in the beginning, might be the first 2 to 4 days. So maybe if their original APR would be 30%, they might have it as 50 or 60%, right? So this is a very awesome opportunity where maybe if there's a market correction next 2 to 5 weeks, you scoop it up, and then you scoop up the NFTs for cheap, it TGs, you get token airdrops, you stake those for a limited supply. Maybe if it pumps a little bit harder, so maybe you can do 50-50 split or more or less, 50% into the staking, 50% into taking profit, and then if you just wait a bit, usually there's a dip right at TG, so maybe the next 2-4 weeks of TG it starts to pump up a lot, then you sell that, and then you rotate that to something else. So yeah, that's a huge hidden play right here that I think will be really solid for people that are holding NFTs, in my opinion. Then if those tokens, maybe it's 50% of those tokens pump in 2-4 weeks after, you could just take profits like ETH, Solana, Bitcoin, anything else you like to, and then you just hold it out for 2-3x over a cycle. Or if there's another awesome play, maybe a trusted partner or project you like has another mint incoming, then you can ape into that, or you can just take it out to fiat. Of course, this is all not financial advice. Don't put in what you can't lose. We're literally trading JPEGs. So, yeah, we have no idea what we're doing. This is straight up gambling. No idea what it is. Who knows? Anything could happen. Don't trust a random guy off the internet that you just met, that you just literally are listening to right now. So, but if it cooks, hopefully we get to see y'all at GDC at 2025. I believe it's in San Francisco again this upcoming year. Hopefully we get to meet at other conferences too. Maybe I'll try to hit up Dubai. I already went to Singapore last year. I don't know if I want to fly out, but I don't know. If the vibes are good, I'll probably fly out again. I do want to maybe go to France, but I believe that's in January. And yeah, there's so many. There's like, I believe there's one in Toronto. Like, I don't know when that is. And there's probably going to be, TMYC. That might be a little too close to GDC, but if there's one in like summer, I do want to go to that. Maybe like, maybe a consensus or something. So hopefully we get to see more of you guys there, and hopefully we get to celebrate, cook, and congrats to all the cooks we made these past 2 months. I know a lot of y'all have held for like 1 to 2, 3 years, so glad I cooked for y'all. And for the new people, welcome in. It's been an awesome ride. Try not to invest too much if you're newer. Like, right now it's already been like 9 weeks of pumping, so it's been, things have pumped a bit, so I probably would observe more and just see what happens, see how the crypto ecosystem works, and then start out small, maybe like 100, then 500, then 1,000. As you slowly get better, then you learn to control your urges, your impulses with higher and higher position sizes, and slowly go from there. And feel free to join the Socializing Discord. Let me pull that up. It's right here. You can click our L Hub, and then you can click our Get Started here guide to see how everything works. Join Discord or Telegram. Well, probably would join our Discord, we're more active there. Telegram a bit. Then you can see our YouTube updates. Subscribe. If you want one, you can pick up our fake friend Genesis MCC collection, etc., and click there for a random surprise at the end. But let me know if you have any other comments, or even join our X community. Shouts to Black Shibas. But let me know if you have any questions or comments or suggestions in the comments, and happy to chat with you then. See you in Discord.